I'm Nikki Starr, welcome back to my channel. You might hear some road noise in this clip just to keep me from losing my mind to the heat. This is the first clip I've done this month that I've actually spoken to you guys. I don't think I've done much in the way of filming so far, which has been great for me. It is currently the 13th of August. The August plan is to reread through 3 different books. I am currently on page 14 of the first of the 3 books. It's fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine. But it is Friday, work has finished, and the plan is to sit down and try and get a couple of hours in this evening, and then to bulk out most of tomorrow to do this. Because I'd like to, if I can, finish book 5 today, which is the first book I'm working on, so that I can get to 6 and 7 in the next 2 weeks. I have sticky noted where the halves and quarters and things are, so that I can give myself little milestones, otherwise I start to feel like I'm not getting anywhere. Am I saying the wrong numbers? I think I'm saying the wrong numbers. I'm currently doing book 6, and the other 2 books will be book 7 and book 8. I'll check that in editing, but I'm pretty sure I was just talking out of my arse then. Because we are literally within days of Milwordy finishing, and I've done not a huge amount. I think collectively I've done, with the notes and what I've done so far on here, and also I've moved a lot of my notes from my Dabble app into my Campfire, which I've counted as words, even though for the majority of the time I'm just copying a sentence across or not, but because I'm taking time to work out if what I'm copying is still relevant, I've counted it. The alternative option for me, to save myself the stress if I cannot get to finishing the last 2 books at the end of this month. If I finish book 6 and I cannot bring myself to go through book 7 and book 8, or I run out of time, which is very, very likely, and I've got like a day or 2 to get through it because I have booked some time off at the end of the month, I am considering rereading through really old drafts of the first Space Pirates book, because I got this idea years and years and years and years ago. It's gone through a couple of really rough drafts. So what I was considering before, if I needed extra words to finish off the challenge, would be to go through and look and see whether I've lost any characterization through the drafts, or there's any sort of particular elements that if I go back and reread it I'm like, oh my god, that would be amazing, why have I not added that in now? Or to convince myself that I'm on the right path if I see things and go, oh no, wouldn't do that now. But the word count, I think, for those 2, or to potentially do the old drafts of book 1 and book 2, would be about what I would probably need if I can finish this book, but I wouldn't need to be making the same extensive notes, so it wouldn't be quite as mentally intensive. So I could literally sit, read it, and I would only put it in any kind of note form if I really come across something where I'm like, I need that, I need to think that through. But for the majority of it I could probably just sit and read, which I can't do with these current books. I have to think about what I'm reading, how does it relate to the other books I've read, have I contradicted myself, I'm trying to remember what I've read in other things, and it becomes a little bit more mentally taxing. So I have myself a backup, slightly simpler option, and then in September I can slowly reread the rest of the series, or for now I can pause the rereading, and then when I come to working on the series I can either pick it up again, or I can just work on book 1 with what I've got as my assumptions, and then I can read these last 2 books at the very end. So I have options. I've given myself options because I need to, because I really, really, really want to try and actually hit this. I would be very upset if I don't manage it. As I said, I booked off a little bit of time. The 30th of August is a bank holiday, which is a Monday, and I've booked off the rest of the week. Theoretically, the last 4 days I'll have the weekend, the bank holiday Monday, and the Tuesday to panic. And I know that I can get through quite a bit in 4 days worth of panic. If my past NaNoWriMo has taught me anything, is that last day sprinting is where I am the best at this sort of stuff. So I have time to do that if I want to do it and get it through that way, and then I'll have a couple of days to recover, like really recover from that, to avoid myself from procrastinating and talking to you guys, which is far more interesting than actually doing the work, because it is a Friday. I don't think I have done any writing work on a Friday evening in a long time, just because my brain usually is just so knackered. But actually this week at work hasn't been as busy as it's been in the past. I feel like I've got a little bit more mental capacity to sit down and do this, and then tomorrow I'm hoping to get up fairly early and like make a day of it and just see how far I can get, because if I could theoretically get started on one of the books. At the moment I think I'm averaging about 9 to 11 hours to finish one of these books, and this book 6 is actually one of the shortest. I think it might be the shortest. Book 7 is the shortest of them, so if I can get through book 6 in the next few, today and tomorrow, then book 7 should be easier for me to get through during the work week next week. Maybe. That is the current thinking. That is what I'm going to do. I am going to, you know what I really fancy doing, which is very strange because it is August, but we had all the windows open today and it's not been as warm as normal, so it's actually a little bit cooler. I'm tempted to like put one of those, you know those videos of like the fireplaces? I'm tempted to put one of those up and then just set a stopwatch and just go for it and just see what happens, get cozy, might even make a tea, and then I'm going to do some dinner, and then I might do a little bit more after dinner depending on how I feel. If I'm knackered it might not happen, but let's see what we can do. Good morning, it is the 14th of August, so we're now on Saturday. Don't know why I felt the need to add that. I'm being a bit quieter because my partner's still asleep. It is about 7:30 in the morning. I went to bed quite late last night, but then woke up relatively early, so we'll see how today goes. Yesterday I got to page 33 of book 6, which means I am a quarter of the way through. I did only do about an hour's work yesterday, but I did it all in one stint, and I'm still working slower than the average of the other books. There's definitely something in the idea that the beginning part of the book is slower. I don't know if it's because I'm establishing more characters, so I'm going to go and make more character profiles during my sort of sprinting, or if it's just that I'm getting back into the world and like starting rereading seems to be taking me a lot more energy than actually continuing with it. Plan today is to get as far through as possible. It has taken me just under 2 hours to get to page 33, just over a quarter of the way through, which is still better maths than I was expecting. I think it's because these books start to get a bit smaller than the first couple that I did, and because the first 3 are actually technically first drafts, whereas book 4 to book 8 are 0 drafts. The 1 to 3 are a bit longer, they're a bit more involved, and now we're starting to speed up to the end. The plan today is just to see how far I can get through it all. Probably taking some breaks to sort of do some general house stuff. Got a little bit of tidying to do. I don't have many other goals to finish this week. Today is just about trying to get as much done as we can. Put on some more music. I ended up listening to, I think I showed you guys like some Frank Turner yesterday, and then I also moved on to, if anyone knows them from, I say from back in the day, but they released an album last year, Search the City. Got that playing in my ears yesterday as well. I'm probably not going to force myself into any time slots. I just kind of want to see how this goes today. Probably put on a stopwatch rather than a timer and just see how much I can get through. It is a little bit later. I am looking a little bit more dishevelled. You can obviously see where a mask has been on my face again. It is currently 20 to 5. I did about 2 hours this morning. I think I checked in with you all about 8ish. Was it 8ish? Maybe a bit before. And I did do about 2 hours of stuff. My eyeliner has creased up onto my eyelid. Yeah, I did about 2 hours and I got through 50 pages, so I'm at 82. I'm not upset about, but I then may have both distracted myself and my partner, and we went out to the cinema instead. It is 20 to 5. I have until about 7:30, and then I'm having a call. We have a family WhatsApp call we do on a Saturday evening, so I have a little bit of time. Need to make some dinner somewhere in there, but I'm hoping that I can get through a few more pages. I'm only about 10 pages away from hitting a 3/4 mark, and then I just make up a little bit of this tomorrow, which I was kind of hoping not to. But it isn't the end of the world. But for now, I am gonna go and get myself something cold to drink because we've come back into the flat and it is boiling in here right now. And then I'm gonna get back to it. Good morning. It is the 21st of August today. I apparently have gone with accidental Loki vibes today and gone a bit much on the makeup, considering I'm going nowhere. I haven't updated you all since last Saturday, so about a week. I'm good at this. On the Saturday, I got most of the way through a book, I think. I updated you. And then Sunday, I finished the rest of it fairly late in the day and then just could not bring myself to get on camera. So sorry about that. And then I think it was maybe, I want to say Monday. All I've done so far is about 15 minutes on book 7. So book 6 is completely done with now. And after that we got to about 920k, I think. We need 80 to finish. The current book I'm reading is about 47,000 words. And I did make about 10k's worth of notes on the last book. So if we do finish this book soon, we won't need to get all the way through book 8 to hit the million. I would like to finish book 8 just to draw a line under it. So the plan for today, I feel like the framing of this is really weird and I apologise. Let me set up a bit. I've got a few other goals I have to finish by the end of tomorrow, or would be nice to. Nothing has to be finished yet, technically. It's not the end of the month yet, I can shove it to later. In my original August plan, I only planned in 4 weeks, and then I was gonna switch over to August at the sort of 28th if I'd finished with Milwordy, which I probably won't have done. What I'm thinking I might do instead now is use the week after as still part of August. It will mean September will have 4 weeks, which is still fine, but it does mean I can shove some goals, some like nice chill goals, till my week off, because I tend to try and keep track of like how often I'm practicing my instruments and certain things like that. So those kind of things that aren't massively stressful goals, they could be moved until I've got a week off. I was kind of planning to potentially treat today like a work day, do it like a 9 to 5, but it is currently 9:30 because I took way too long doing this and way too long waking up. I haven't been having the greatest nights of sleep this week and it's starting to catch up with me a little bit, I think. So yeah, there's not a lot else to be getting on with today. I'd like to do some tidying, as I always say in these weekends, every single time. I think this is just an adult thing now. I have to continue tidying for the rest of my life. Not sure I signed up for that. And then tonight's a full moon. And I kind of want to, it sounds really weird, I kind of want to sit with the blinds up in the darkness and like watch something and get like cozy. I have a feeling like if I was to get myself proper set up, so get myself like a coffee and some water and really get my sort of space ready, I could probably do some longer stints today. I feel like I've got the energy for it. We had a really nice, relaxing evening yesterday where I finished work and we pretty much quite quickly got straight into the car, went to go watch a film, had a little bit of fast food afterwards at like 8 at night, which if you told me that at 18 that I was saying that but then doing a little bit of like a oh aren't I cool face, she would definitely not think it's cool. But considering these days I like to be as close to bed as possible by about 9 it feels kind of risky to go out and do that, which might explain why while I did fall asleep in bed, I woke up constantly until I got out again at 1 and came into the bed, into the living room and slept. Okay, I'm waffling on. I keep forgetting that future Nikki has to edit this shit together in some way, shape or form. So apologies. Let's give this a go. Good morning. It is the 29th of August. I have 3 days left of Milwordy. If anyone remembers from the beginning of the month, I said that the last weekend I'd have like the Saturday, the Sunday, the Monday and the Tuesday just to work my way through what was ever left. We had a little family get-together, a little impromptu family get-together yesterday for various reasons, but I needed that more than I thought I did. Actually just being in the room with my family is still a novelty. It does mean that I now have 3 days to finish Milwordy. I have done some writing that I haven't kept you up to date with, or some rereading, but if I'm honest, there's been quite a few points this month where I've sat down to do something and then couldn't bring myself to be on camera about it. I don't know why. I think there is potential that this whole year may have burnt me out. I'm gonna say that out loud, but it's been pretty obvious. The plan at the moment is to do a Milwordy montage to show what it's been like over the year, and I'm worried I'm just going to see myself slowly deteriorating into madness. But that aside, we have 3 days and we have 45, well, let's say 46k when I round it up. So I have just under 46k left to do. I'm not worried, this is fine. Now, according to my overall estimates, if I was to finish book 7 and finish book 8, which is actually more than I need for the Milwordy at this point, I'm pretty sure, because the book 8 itself is over 50k and I'm not finished with book 7 yet. So we can definitely hit the million without having to do both. But if I was to do both, the estimates I made, like a minimum estimate, if I was to be really slow about this shit, is about 15 hours. There is a good chance that if I can actually make myself stay on target today and actually focus, which didn't happen last Saturday. I don't know if I even finished updating of what happened last Saturday when I started writing and then spent the rest of the weekend cleaning the kitchen instead and just organising everything and taking everything out of drawers and cupboards and putting it back in a different order. But yeah, if I can actually focus today, which would be good, then theoretically I might be able to hit the million today and then maybe just finish book 8 leisurely over the next couple of days. Or I don't necessarily have to finish book 8 this month. If I hit the million, which is what I've been working on for the last year, that would be amazing. And then theoretically I could pick book 8 up again in September and just do it a little bit calmer. But I think after Milwordy I will need at least a week of not doing any of this. I do have next week off. So if I could finish today, if I could finish both of them today, if I go absolutely mad somehow, or if I start doing more than my estimates, if I could finish it today, then I get the whole of next week to chill. That being said, I think I'm going to need some fuel, and I think the best bet for that is either to go and make myself an actual caffeinated coffee, which will be a novelty in itself again, or to make a decaf coffee, to have a nice big iced coffee and an energy drink. I feel like caffeine's going to help me. I haven't slept particularly well for the last week, so focusing is going to be fun today. This is a very bad angle, I apologise. The lighting of this is trash, but I'm not changing it now. I've done most of the time. That's going to be the plan. It's going to have to be at least a 12k day, potentially. It's getting very hard in my head to contextualise what point in book 8 I'd have to finish to hit the Milwordy. When I've finished book 7, I might then do a little bit of maths and try and work out if I can work out exactly where I should stop. But the problem is, in some books I've been making a lot more edit notes, and in other ones it's been a little bit cleaner, so got no way of estimating exactly where I'll land, but I'll let you guys know. So either way, let's go get some fuel and let's do this shit. Gone for the blanket. I can't remember if I said this morning what time it was. So the last update I made was at 8:30. It is 20 to 11 and book 7 is done. I have read through it. I've made a load of notes, which means that so far this morning I've done about 15k in about 2 hours, which I was not expecting. It means that I have about 30k left. So theoretically, if I keep the pace up, 4 hours more work and it would be done, which feels strange. But I do think because I was getting to the end of that book, I sped up. Mostly because, I think I've said this before, but when I'm writing and drafting, I do speed up towards the end anyway, and that was very clear in this book. But also I kind of start to remember how books resolve, whereas when I start reading a book, I have no memory of what's about to happen. So I've done a quick bit of maths, and if I got to dead on halfway through the book, just in terms of words, that's 27k, and I'm pretty sure I'll end up having at least, I think I've got like 31,000 left, so at least 4k of notes by that point, but it won't be that quick, so still gonna need a little bit longer today, and then theoretically it'll Milwordy be done. Also means theoretically, I keep saying theoretically, if I was to do another 8 hours today, could finish book 8. But I don't think it's going to happen. We'll see how this goes. I had a little bit of caffeine this morning and then a bit of decaf coffee, so we shall see if my brain holds out long enough to do that. It's been a while since I did like a proper 10-hour or 12-hour writing day. Don't know if I've still got it in me. But that's the plan. That's the update. Book 7's done somehow. There's a lot of stuff that goes wrong at the end of book 7 and I've rushed through some of it, quite a bit of it. I need to go back and do a lot of work on that, but the point there stands. That's kind of, in terms of the whole series kind of overview, I think I said this when I drafted it, like that end of book 7 is kind of the all is lost for the whole series, just because of the way it all works. It's basically the low point, everything starts to fuck up, and then in book 8 we begin to start resolving it. So we shall see what happens. I can't remember what happens in much of book 8, if I'm honest. I don't know if you can hear this, I'm fiddling about with a hairband, so if that noise is coming through, I apologise. So that is the plan. I will check in with you guys a little bit later. The camera position's a bit strange, but my selfie stick come tripod thing that I use is a little bit broken, so if I move this it might drop my phone, which I don't want to happen. But I am checking in. It is 10 to 4 on the 29th of August. And I did it. I appear to have did it. I'm not quite sure that is gonna sink in all that much. Might take a while, but yeah, I'm at 1,000,005 words because I basically finished a chapter and I was like 80 words from the end, so I did a little bit of brainstorming just to get myself through it. I'm just over a quarter of the way through book 8, so I've still got a little bit of that I can do in the future. But for the purposes of Milwordy, I have, let me see if I can get this right, and I will do an actual proper wrap-up video because I feel like this is just not going to do any justice. But I drafted through half of book 3 up until book 8, including outlining them before I've drafted them. I reread and made notes on my standalone book for Space Pirates World, and then book 1 to book 8, well, book 1 to book 7 and a bit of book 8 in a year. Yeah, I'm going to do a video probably where I look at the stats a bit more. I kind of want to see if I can find any like slightly sillier things, like if I'm obviously counting words and stuff, and I know for a lot of people the word counts aren't the point of doing this. I just like having numbers to track what I'm doing on, but kind of want to see like how many characters did I write. Like I haven't added them all up yet, but there's quite a few. You know, just silly things. I have hit the 1,000,000. This angle is terrible. There we go. That's what I should have been doing the whole thing. This year has been mad. I think it's been mad for a lot of different reasons for a lot of people. But if you told me last August that I would have actually managed this, I probably would have laughed at you. I think when I first started doing it, and I might go back and look at some of my old clips, but when I first announced it, I was thinking like it would be, maybe I'd get to 250,000. If I was lucky, I might get to, I think 600,000 was my middle number. I passed that shit a while ago. It's mad. It's really, really mad. But I've done it. Now there's a part of me that's tempted to not do anything in September for this at all. And just leave it be and not touch it anymore. But yeah, I think September was probably more likely to be more of a chill month. I kind of want to see if I can finish reading book 8, but like more slowly and more leisurely than today. I kind of want to do like some maps and like some floor plans of some of the ships and stuff like that, like fun bits and pieces that I've kind of been wanting to do while I've been trying to get the word count up that I've not been able to. I want to try and do that. And then October, I'm going to have to start prepping for NaNoWriMo, which I think might have to be a first draft of the standalone book. So for anyone who isn't familiar with the way I do things, it's currently as a 0 draft, but I wrote it like 4 or 5 years ago, probably more than that now. I wrote it ages and ages and ages ago, and it needs a lot of change to bring it into the Space Pirates world. It was originally just written as it was. I want to try and bring it in because it's got a couple of very similar things. There's a power in the magic book, the standalone book, that I didn't realise until I had already nicked it for the Space Pirates world, that I had stolen it and taken it across. So that needs a lot of work to bring it across, and then that'll probably be what my October will be, is like outlining and planning that, and then NaNoWriMo will be writing it. And then I'm thinking what might make the most sense is from that point on taking Space Pirates book 1 and the standalone book and basically drafting between the two, so revising them in sections back and forth until one of them is ready to do something with. And then if I need a break, I can go on to Space Pirates 2, I guess. And again, if anyone hasn't been on the channel for a while, this is mostly due to the fact that I don't think I'm going to be able to query a series. And while I'm not opposed to self-publishing, I'm not currently in a position where I could afford to fund myself through self-publishing just yet and do it well. If I have to self-publish the Space Pirates series, I'm not against it as a concept. I just need to save up some money and be prepared to do that. So what I'm thinking is if I can get a book that's in the world sold off and potentially look at any other standalone stories that I could write and basically get the world kind of drummed up, and then I can potentially hit this series if people don't want it first thing. But if I could get book 1 and a standalone to some kind of query standard in the next couple of years, and then I could start getting it queried out, that would be kind of interesting. But for now, I've hit the million. I can't make any promises that I'm going to do anything else interesting in August, so I'm going to close off the vlog here, I think. And as I said, I will come out soon with a video that gives a bit more of a thought through process of this, maybe some stats, and I might even look back at some old clips and maybe do like a little montage of how the last year went, because it's also my first year on AuthorTube. That would be kind of like an interesting milestone, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to be coming up to, if not already have come up to, the anniversary for the first video I posted. As always, thank you so much for watching. I am going to potentially go and eat way too much Oreo ice cream because that's been in my freezer as my reward this week. And I will see you all in the next one.